Hello, friends. Welcome to Tori Talks TV. And welcome to our Fab 5. So today's Fab 5 is our top 5 best scenes from Game of Thrones Season 5. Wow. This was not easy to narrow down to 5 scenes.
So many good scenes.
Yes. So, okay, Dr. S, you kick it off. What's your number 5?
Oh,
best scene.
Best scene. Well, I'm gonna say that my best are the most memorable.
I'm right there with you.
Okay.
I feel the same way.
Okay, so my number 5 is from episode 1, entitled "The Wars to Come." It's the execution of Mance Rayder.
Oh boy, was that rough?
Okay, burning people alive by fire for some reason is just makes me not happy.
These sickos. Yeah.
Yeah, but what I love about this scene is that Mance is like I'm not gonna scream. I know. He wants to have like some dignity, and then as he's like going up in flames and you can see the pain in his face, Jon Snow puts him out of his misery by shooting him with an arrow.
Right in the heart.
Which is going against what Stannis wants, but Jon
Mm-hmm.
doesn't care because Jon is a man with integrity and mercy.
He's so sweet.
I know.
Yeah.
That scene is just like so memorable, and I saw that and I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
Jon Snow.
I like Mance Rayder
Mance
too.
Rayder,
I didn't mind him at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really, really good one. Yeah. All right, so let's go to my number 5. So my number 5 is from episode 9, The Dance of Dragons, and it's when Selyse is begging Stannis to save Shireen from being burned alive.
Mm-hmm.
What in the world? So this is all...
Yeah.
what's her name?
Melisandre.
Oh my gosh.
Can't
And
stand
Stannis
her.
just goes along with whatever she says. So
Mhm.
so first, like, Selyse is like, okay, we're gonna do this, Stannis.
Mhm.
We're gonna watch as they burn our daughter alive, right?
Yeah.
And they're watching and they're watching, and then Selyse obviously is like, wait a minute, that's my child. No, I need to save her, and like runs toward her, and it's so sad seeing her screaming,
know.
"Mom, help me!" Oh, that just goes along with your whole burning alive
Yes,
thing. What in the world?
Yes.
And then Melisandre's just looking all like proud and like, I'm honoring the Lord of Light, because obviously they're trying to like sacrifice somebody for the Lord of Light. What in the
she has
world?
the king's blood.
Oh, that's
The
why.
king's blood.
But that was really hard to watch.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a child
It's a child.
that they're burning alive.
Mhm.
Anyway,
So
that's my number 5. So what's your number 4?
my number 4 is the same scene.
No.
I really these burning people
Yeah.
at the pyre. Oh my
Right.
gosh, it just really gets to me. But yeah, she like
Oh,
right
she
before
is.
she's like offering like, "Daddy, if there's anything I can do to help,"
Yeah.
and he's like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah, you can sacrifice yourself to the Lord of
Oh
Light.
my gosh,
That'll help me.
and if she's a child.
That's so sad.
She's a
And she's a
child.
sweet, smart child, and
I know.
she's reading
so sweet. She's
to
the sweetest
yeah,
girl.
right.
And Davos tried to take her away,
Yeah,
and he was like, "No, my family stays with me." And then look what he did.
that's so sad.
what he
Thanks a
did.
lot,
My
Dad. Well, let's move on.
Yes, please.
Let's liven it up a little bit. I'll try to.
Okay.
Number 4 still involves fire, but it's from episode 9 again, The Dance of
Mhm.
Dragons, and it's when Dany flies. That's what I'll just name it. Yeah. So remember when they're in the fighting pit?
Yeah.
And they're in the middle, and they're like, what's gonna happen? And she's stuck, and there's like the son of the harpy, and they're surrounding Jorah and
Mhm.
Dario and Tyrion and her and Missandei,
Mhm.
and they're like, what are we gonna do? And then here comes Drogon, and he comes and he starts breathing
Yep.
fire on everybody, and then she's like, Dany's like, I'm gonna get on top of you, and
Mhm.
we're gonna fly away. And then they did, and it was cool because it was like the first time you get to see her
Yes.
fly on her dragon.
Mhm.
Big moment.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Okay.
all right, let's go to number. Are we on number 3?
Number 3.
Oh my gosh, what's your
Okay,
number
my
3?
number 3 is from episode 10, A Mother's Mercy,
Mhm.
and it's Cersei's Walk of Atonement.
Whoa!
I timed it, people.
Oh my gosh.
6 minutes. 6 full minutes of
No,
her
it
walk.
wasn't.
So I showed the start of the walk. 6 minutes from start to finish. That's a long time.
What a rough thing to watch, even though we hate her. Like that's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
I was thinking about how I felt about her at this time. I still hated her,
Mhm,
and I don't feel sorry for her, but I think the way that they shot this made me put myself in her place.
Oh yeah.
And so as
Those
I
close-ups.
identified with her, I
Mhm.
was like, whoa, this sucks.
That's just sad.
But you deserve it. Or I deserve it. I don't know if I was putting myself in her place.
Right.
I'm not her, though.
That was
obviously
really rough. No, you never would
No.
be. Yeah, no, that was very, very memorable.
Yes.
Obviously,
Yes.
yeah. All right, well, my number 3,
Mm-hmm.
ready for it? It
Yes.
is from episode 8, and the Battle of Hardhome. It's the Battle of Hardhome.
Yes.
Yeah. So everything about the scene, because it was a pretty
Mhm,
long scene.
mhm.
That's why there's 4 pictures up there for just the one. So okay, so obviously John is like arriving with like wildlings and his his brothers,
Yes.
and they're trying to like say, hey, we need you wildlings to fight with us against the White Walkers. And then what happens? The White Walkers appear in an avalanche, and basically they're just like attacking everybody. So that's crazy already. But then you see this one guy walking through the fire, like, wait a minute, how are you walking through the fire? And then John takes his Valyrian steel sword and he like stops him from, I mean, everything about it was really powerful. But you know what really got me was the children.
Yes.
The White Walker children staring at that woman, and then they just like attack her. And then at the end, that guy, the guy who puts his arms up. At first I thought he was like, come at me, bro. Like, I thought that's at first what he was saying. No, he was awakening the dead. And then John's just like looking like, wow, we have a lot of work to do.
This is what happens. They slaughter the people and they all come back as part of their army?
Yeah. And they like all look at him with their like beautiful blue eyes.
I know.
I hate to say it, but they look really beautiful when they first come alive. Anyway, so that, and I'm not really like a fan of battles, but that was a really, really good one.
It was an intense battle.
It scared the crap out of me.
That's kind of a cheater one though, because that was a full sequence and you chose like 4.
It's a scene.
No, it's not.
It's one
that
scene.
would be called a sequence.
It's a scene. Sequence.
Sequence.
There you go. Yes.
Okay.
True. I would say, but the most memorable one is those children, those dead children. My God. All right, let's go to our number 2.
Okay.
What's your number 2?
Okay, so my number 2 was your some earlier number. But it was
somewhere down there.
Episode 9, The Dance of the Dragons, and I kind of cheated too. It's the whole great game sequence. I could not narrow it down.
Better now.
The whole thing from when Jorah kills all those people, and then like what's gonna happen, and he like throws a spear and gets that son of the harpy, and this all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
I can't.
The whole thing.
When she and Missandei hold hands.
What about when Tyrion?
Oh. I mean, when we hold hands.
Yeah.
And then when Tyrion kills and saves Missandei's life, that whole thing. She closes her eyes, and then Drogon comes. Oh.
All the way up to when she flies off with Drogon.
Heck yeah, dude. Oh my gosh.
Okay, we're cheaters, but I'm sorry. We have to mention it all. It all goes together.
It was so good.
Yes, exactly. No, I get it. I totally understand. Believe me. Okay, so my number 2?
Yes.
Is in episode 10, Mother's Mercy. It's when Jon Snow dies.
Oh, gosh.
They killed him. No.
I know.
Okay, so I will tell you, this is the second time around that I've watched this now, but the first time, didn't see it coming, obviously. But, like, they totally tricked him. They're like, hey, this guy, like, knows the whereabouts of your uncle. And
who tricked him?
His own brothers.
Ollie!
Oh.
That kid.
I always knew he was trouble, but yeah, so he's like, come on out, John. And then all of a sudden, they just start stabbing him one by one, and then the kid comes up to him and looks him right in the eye and just,
oh, man.
Oh my God, for the wall or whatever they chant. And then the last thing you see in the whole freaking season is Jon Snow bleeding to death. And I remember when I first saw it, I was like, okay, you didn't really just kill Jon Snow, like my beloved. No, they did. Yeah. He's dead. Jon Snow's dead. And, didn't want to watch it after that. I was like, well, I'll never. You're dead to me, Game of Thrones. I'll never watch you again. But I kept watching. Yeah.
Exactly. I almost picked that one, but I knew you would.
Really?
Well, I mean, how could you not?
Exactly.
I know.
All right. Well, let's reveal our number ones. This is what we think is the best scene or most memorable of season 5. So, are you ready? What's your number 1?
Okay. I didn't quite cheat on this one, but it is from the Hard Home sequence. But I narrowed it down. Okay. I chose, well, it's still like multiple scenes in the sequence, but okay, so you know her?
Yes, she's pretty.
So they introduce her. Her name's Carsey.
Carsey.
So she's like one of the first wildling leaders to say like, yes, let's do this plan, and she puts her kids on the boat.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, she's a cool character. Like, they did such a great job of making me love her.
Oh, yeah. She's tough, and she's motherly, and
one little like 20-minute sequence, 1/3 of the episode. I'm like, oh, she's awesome. I love her. I identify with her. Yeah. And then she gets killed. Oh, well, and then turned into
White Walker.
Army of the Dead. I was just like, what just happened here? It was like beautifully brilliant. The way they did that. Right? Like she sticks out in my head.
All of it. But especially her, she does. She stands out in that battle.
Like in just this little short time. I loved her and then I feared her and I was really sad for her. And then her children.
Oh. Because she's like, I'll be right behind you.
Yeah. And she says, John, you go because they're not going to let us through unless you're there. Like, right. And so she...
I know. That was really, really good. I know. I really liked her too. Okay, well, I'm ready to reveal my number one. So my number one was one of yours. It's from episode 10, Mother's Mercy. It's Cersei's Atonement and Walk of Shame. Yeah. That's what I call it. So look, I have her. Okay.
Shame.
Shame. Shame. Okay. So the feelings that I had going on when this happened. Okay, hate her. I don't care what happens to her. Yes. But why did I feel bad?
Because they're brilliant and evil,
Why do they do this artists. To me? I don't want to care about her. Or when she starts crying, I mean, just how vulnerable she felt. They strip her naked, cut all of her beautiful hair off, and make her go through the street. People are like flashing her and throwing what I can only think is like feces at her. And she just has to like take it. And like you said, it's 6 minutes. It's this long walk. So long. And then she finally gets there and she's just like, oh my God, everything she went through. So sticks out because, you know, I've never seen a scene like that before. I hate her, but I felt that. Yes. I did. I think everybody did. Don't know.
Yes, I think so too.
But you're right. The writers are brilliant and the way that they shot that. Did you know that she had a body double? Like, even when it shows her with her naked body, they, like, put her head on that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a fun little fact. So, hey, good choices, in my opinion. Yeah. We hope you all agree. Let us know what you would choose as your best scene from Game of Thrones Season 5. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. See you next time. Bye, everybody.